Hello everyone, I'm Paul.
And I'm Ryan.
And for today's video, we want to talk about some of the family traditions, the things we love about the holidays. As you know, I'm obsessed with like Christmas and Halloween, and we both have family traditions that we want to bring into our children's lives. Because I think it's important to have those things to look forward to around the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm
I was going to say, you mentioned Halloween.
Yeah,
so
well, I think we got to start with Halloween.
On the calendar order.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's only October, but anyway. So Halloween, I've loved Halloween since I was a kid. When I was a child growing up, my grandmother, Grams, would make us homemade Halloween costumes because she was a seamstress. So I was always a superhero character, whether it was the Flash or Batman, but she'd get the pattern out and she would make us homemade costumes, which I always loved. And then getting into high school, and then we would go trick-or-treating, of course. And then in high school, I would do scary movie nights called Scare-a-thon Marathon. And I still do them. Yes, I do, because I love tradition so much. So that idea of dressing up...
The format has changed, hasn't it?
Right, yes.
Scare-a-thon Marathon?
Yeah.
Didn't you used to, like, select the movies in a certain way?
I mean, kind of. I think I usually had a couple picked out. I worked at a video store at the time, so I'd kind of grab some from my collection at the video store, and then we would let the guests kind of pick and choose what they'd want to watch. Friends from high school that would come over, and some of them still come over for Scare-a-thon Marathon now, which is so
Because that's
great.
how I knew it when we first met. The first Scare-a-thon Marathon I did with you, it was like people had their suggestions, and we put them on the table, and then people could veto certain movies, and that's how we pared it down.
Game, yeah.
Now it's like professional film critic programs the night, and come or not, I mean, it's gonna be...
But that's
fine.
Yeah.
Because you take it very... You have like a thematic element.
Yeah.
You try to do something that's more silly and something that's like really scary. And we have a couple friends who don't really like scary, but they still come.
Yeah.
As long as they have a blanket they can put over their head. So it's fun.
So that's one thing. And I also love carving pumpkins. I think that's so important to me, is that idea of carving pumpkins. We did it as a kid. I still do it now. Whether it's one pumpkin or two, I try to do it. Getting stencils from online and then sketching them out and carving them out. It just makes
something
it all...
I really have to be in the mood for, because it's so... If I'm going to do it, I want to do it well. Yeah. And so I have to feel inspired to carve a pumpkin. And
I will do it. I think I couldn't do it last year because we were too busy. And I was like, this year, I have to get it done. I want to carve a pumpkin. And then got to get candy for trick-or-treaters.
And you also watch the same movie every time you carve a pumpkin.
Well, I have to watch Scream every time I carve a pumpkin. But that, I mean, once we have kids, that will go away, obviously. We'll watch, like, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. We do have that.
Yes.
It'll be good to watch them. Yeah. So, yeah, putting the bucket out of candy when we have trick-or-treaters. It's always fun to see that. We've got some kids in our neighborhood, and they always come around in our cul-de-sac. So that'll be fun.
Right.
Yeah, I just love Halloween. I love fall. The crisp fall air, I think it's great.
I don't have much to add about Halloween, but my grandmother was also she was a big craftsperson overall. She sewed things. She sewed a lot of my mom's clothes when she was a kid, and so I had a clown costume that she made all from scratch for me, so that was one.
I'm just excited to see our kids dress up in Halloween costumes and...
Yeah.
Try not to go all out.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And be creative with it.
Right.
And not just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's exciting. And something that we found out this year is that malls, the Mall of America has like indoor trick-or-treating with it, which I think is so great for kids. Like if it's too cold out, or if maybe you don't live in that good of a neighborhood, or like if there just aren't enough lights on, you can go to the Mall of America and then all the stores participate.
It's just so hard to know like how many neighborhoods are participating anymore.
Right. Yeah. So it's good to kind of get the kids. And then they can, we live in Minnesota, which can be colder on Halloween, then you got the coat on over the costume.
Don't ask anyone about the great Halloween blizzard of 1993.
91, I believe.
Okay, fine. Coming from Iowa.
So that's an option that I'm looking forward to, too, is taking the kids to Mall of America if something has happened in our neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's Halloween.
Halloween.
It's more about the scary movies.
That'll be put on pause when we have kids, but
Well, yes.
for now, that's what we do.
Yes.
Thanksgiving, what we do right now for Thanksgiving is we alternate between having it here in Minnesota with my family and then being down in Iowa with your family.
Mm-hmm.
And we tend to be the pie makers around Thanksgiving.
Yes, I mean, one of the things that I love doing with my grandma, in addition to sewing clothes, she did crocheting, knitting, plastic canvas was a big craft of my grandmother.
What is that?
It's kind of like cross stitch, only on a big plastic canvas, and you can make Kleenex box covers or toilet paper covers.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I love doing that with my grandma, but she also was really into baking.
Yeah.
And so one of my memories would always be baking a custard pie with my grandmother.
And
so
you still do. He still makes custard pie.
It's like the one pie I still make because it's super easy.
I do a pecan pie, and maybe apple if it's requested. Pumpkin maybe if it's requested.
But we feel very strongly about making pies.
Yeah, and it's
I bristle at store-bought pies.
Me too.
So, and I think because my family, and that was a tradition that continued with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
He would make a chocolate pie that was his grandmother's recipe, I believe. And he would always try to, like, find new pie recipes too. So, like, making pies from scratch has been a family tradition. So, all due respect to the Perkins and the Baker Square of the world, if someone walks into my home with a store-bought pie and is like, here, then I'm like, leave this house.
When we do a homemade crust too, because it's your mom's pata pie recipe crust.
Yes, that was from a cookbook of my Grandma Vivian.
Yeah,
yep.
But we still use it. It's a good pie crust.
It's a good pie crust.
Yeah, but I think I love to bake and cook, and I look forward to having our kids bake and cook.
It's a really easy tradition to continue.
Yeah. And I love Black Friday shopping. I have to do that every year. I'm all about traditions, so I have to do Black Friday shopping, whether we're here in Minnesota or in Iowa. It may just be me doing it. That has happened the last couple of years.
Right. And even if it's just, I want to go to one store and buy one thing that I saw on sale, just so that you can keep that tradition alive.
Hey,
but
2 years ago I bought an Instant Pot.
You're not like a pitch in a tent outside 3 p.m. on Thanksgiving kind of Black Friday shopper.
No, and I think that has changed with the Black Friday culture, that with stores now being open on Thanksgiving, and that is really extreme, and I don't think that's even necessary anymore.
Right. Well, because Thanksgiving it has been my favorite holiday just because it's all about like getting together with family and eating food. I mean, the food was a big part of my family tradition.
Right.
From I've never really cared about the turkey all that much. The turkey's always been like the least exciting. Are you appalled by this?
Well, I would say that the turkey's probably number 2 for me outside of the pies because it's the protein. As long as it's
See, and I love starch. So my mom makes party potatoes, is what they're called. They're like mashed potatoes with French onion dip and cream cheese in them.
Yep.
So they're delicious. And squash, my dad will make squash. That is, it's got a lot of sugar in it and butter, so it's really good. A sweet potato casserole.
Yeah.
My mom makes a mince meat dressing that I've never cared for all that much, but my sister is obsessed with it. So it's like our traditions are very food based.
Right. Last year we hosted my family for the first time, and it was fun to make the turkey for the first time, and I did a cornbread wild rice stuffing that was really good.
That was really good.
So now that I found good Thanksgiving recipes.
It's really difficult to coordinate oven time though.
Yeah, we did.
That was the one challenge.
Yeah. But it was fun to just kind of bring that into our house and see if we could do it, and we did it.
Yes.
It was great. So it'll be in Minnesota again this year, so I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye.